Everybody, it is Holy Week. And in that process that Jesus goes through, my belief, my feeling, my understanding is that we can learn from it. That there's a lot of things that he goes through, and as a result of it, it leads up to the crucifixion, and then it goes into the ascension. So even though we see him go through all of this, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, there's actually a reason for it, right? And so that's what the celebration of Holy Week is. While we lead up to the Easter celebration, we also see all of this suffering. And so this morning, I'm going to do everything that I can in my power to take this incredible story and hopefully lift it a little bit, but also make it relevant so that, like everything that happens in the life of Jesus, we can actually take it in terms of a story, and we can actually apply it to our own personal life so that it can uplift us, it can help us, and we can learn from it. Because that's what it's all about. I always say this, that what we're doing here at Unity, what makes us a little bit different, is we actually take the lessons, and then guess what? We apply them into our life, whatever we're doing, whatever is going on, and then we walk out those doors, and then we use it to make our life a little bit better, to make it a little bit easier, to maybe help us to transform, to actually going from a life where we didn't really feel like there was much we could do about what's going on, and instead we go, hey, wait a minute, let me get this right. What Jesus and others have said is your thoughts actually matter. What you're thinking matters. It matters about who and what you are, who and what God is, what's this thing called life all about, and when we can sit there and all of a sudden start learning some basic tools. If you really look at the life of Jesus and others, what did they have? They had a spiritual tool belt, so that when given the situation, whatever the circumstances are, they could actually use those tools to help them. And so the journey, the awakening, if you will, isn't about learning all the stuff that's going on and learning all the stories and being able to recite all the quotes. I mean, I used to do that. It was fun for a minute. But when you go deeper, when all of a sudden you understand that what you're here doing is to go through a process of awakening, then all of a sudden you go, well, wait a minute, Mike, let me get this right. So we're getting away from this concept of idea of this old man up in the sky who sits there and judges us and all that stuff, and hell and heaven and all that stuff. We're going past that, and we're actually going to have this understanding that, wait a minute, I can actually learn some spiritual tools, yes, and I can actually make a difference in what's going on in my life, yes, and those will support me, yes. And the more I can learn about that and understand that it all comes down to what's happening right here, the absolute garbage that's been pounded into our heads by our parents, by society, by government, by you name it, and then all of a sudden we start to go, wait a minute, you mean there's something in there, and if I start to do this work, if you will, if I start applying these spiritual principles, then all of a sudden I can let go of all the limitations that I've placed upon myself, ultimately. Because while, yes, when you were younger, those thoughts and ideas were put in your thoughts by the people, parents and stuff like that, right? But then all of a sudden you can go, well, wait a minute, I can actually now start to do something about that. I can start to change things. I can start looking at my thoughts and beliefs and start changing them. And maybe, just maybe, there might be an opportunity for you to start putting something inside of here that's yours. Not mine, not your parents, not whoever else is out there, but actually yours. Huh? Yeah. Like you can honestly do that. Like you can sit there and go, oh, so I can just open this thing up, I can start looking at it, I can get rid of the stuff I don't want, and I can put in there what I do want. Yes, you can. You can do that about your life, you can do that about your relationships, you can do that about your finances, you can do it about your relationship with God, you can do it about a lot of things. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, that's really what we can do? Yes. That's exactly what you can do. And so that's what we do here. And sometimes, just being honest, it's a sloppy mess. Isn't it? I mean, that's life, man. We're hanging out here, and at times, crystal clear, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, and it's fantastic, and then all of a sudden, And then life shows up. And then you're sitting there going like, yeah, but what do I do with this? The tool belt, the tool belt, the tool belt. Because when you use these spiritual principles, you learn these spiritual tools, you embody them so that when the stuff comes up, you're not panicking, searching for something. You are actually embodied these tools. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this thing showed up. Oh, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go meditate. Oh, I think what I'm going to do is go hang out and just walk on the earth. Oh, I'm going to pray. Oh, I'm going to go get a hug. Oh, I'm going to do some breath work. Oh, I'm whatever. But when you've got all these tools, then all of a sudden there's something that you can do. So you're not as much reacting, but now you can actually respond ahead of time. What a beautiful gift for all the people that have showed up before us to show us this. But then you take it. You bring it inside of yourself. You start to live like that. And then you get to be the example. Every single one of you, all of you are a brilliant, brilliant reflection of the divine. You are. That's what you are, just by being who and what you are. But for some reason, we don't believe that. And yet I'm here to tell you, you are absolutely beautiful. You are a reflection of the divine just because of who and what you are. It takes courage to live this life. It takes courage to deal with the day-to-day reality of what's happening out there, especially when you pick up a newspaper, for God's sakes. But the good news is, here, we get to come together, we get to hold each other, we get to pray with each other, we get to laugh with each other, we get to cry with each other, and we get to do this thing called life, and we get to do this thing called awaken to what's inside of us. And that's not even my talk. Holy cow. Jeez, Mike. Anyways, having said that, we are really, really, really glad that you're here. Thank you, seriously, for coming here this morning and spending a little bit of your time, a little bit of your energy. We can make this space whatever we want to make it. How many people here need some healing? Let me see. Yeah, we can do that. How many people just want some type of guidance or direction? How many? Yeah, we can do that too. I'm going to ask you to play big this morning. I'm going to ask for you to help us as a collective, because this is a collective we have here. What if you could put anything you want to put into the collective pot of energy that's in this room, right? And just for a moment, I want you to think about that. Do you want love? Do you want healing? What do you want? Because we can do that, especially when we combine it with Spirit. Spirit's already here, big time. And now it's just up to us what we want to create. So I'm saying let's dance. Let's make this thing magical. Let's make this thing happen for each and every one of you that's looking for something, that needs something. And for the people that are having a great day and are on top of the world, thank you for holding the space for those that aren't. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's about a balance, because sometimes you're going to walk in those doors and you're going to be like, ta-da! And then sometimes you're going to walk in and go, oh, I just need to be held because I'm having a bad day. And we can do both. And you're going to do both. That's what makes us so cool. So, having said that, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for being here.
Hey, it's Reverend Mike here. I just wanted to stop for a moment before you get on with your day, and thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. It means the world to us, and I just wanted to let you know if there's anything that we can do to make your experience even better, please do not hesitate to reach out by going to our website. I also wanted to offer you the opportunity for us to get together and sit down so I could get to know you a little bit better and answer any questions that you have. I can either do that by either getting together in person, have a cup of coffee, or we can meet online via Zoom. If you're interested, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach me at michael@courage2thrive.com. And lastly, if you find these messages are helping you, we would be tremendously grateful if you'd consider donating to the center. The best and the easiest way to do that is simple. Just go to our website. Again, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Hope you're doing well. God bless, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.